A cryptic killer, a taunting mastermind, a mystery that has haunted the world for over half a century. This is the story of the Zodiac Killer, one of the most infamous and elusive criminals in history. The Zodiac's reign of terror began on December 20, 1968 in Benicia, California. High school sweethearts Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday were parked on a quiet road when they were shot dead in what seemed like a senseless act of violence. Police had no idea that this was just the beginning of something far more sinister. Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday were young, in love, and full of dreams. Betty Lou, 16, was an honor student, a talented artist, and deeply involved in her school community. She loved sketching and had dreams of becoming a professional artist one day. Her kind spirit and warm smile made her beloved among her peers and teachers. The two parked at a secluded lover's lane, excited to spend time together. As they laughed and talked about their future, they were unaware of the danger lurking in the shadows. A car pulled up behind them, its headlights shining through the rear window. Moments later, an unknown figure stepped out and approached. The Zodiac Killer fired, striking David first. Betty Lou, terrified, tried to run, but the assailant pursued her, firing 5 fatal shots. Her body was found lifeless just feet away, marking the beginning of the killer's horrific spree. What should have been a night of young love and dreams ended in cold-blooded murder, leaving a community in shock and 2 families forever heartbroken. David, 17, was a quiet and respectful young man with ambitions of joining the military. He was well liked by his classmates and had a deep sense of responsibility and integrity. His protective nature was evident in how he cared for his family and friends. The night of December 20th, 1968, was a special one for both of them. It was their first official date, a milestone in their blossoming relationship. Six months later, on July 4th, 1969, the Zodiac struck again. This time, at Blue Rock Springs Park, where Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau were sitting in a parked car. A mysterious man approached and opened fire. Mageau survived and later gave police a chilling description of the killer. Darlene Ferrin was a 22-year-old wife, mother, and free-spirited young woman, known for her infectious energy and kindness. She worked as a waitress in Vallejo and was loved by those around her. She had a passion for art and often expressed herself through painting and creativity. Despite being married, she was known for her outgoing personality and was rumored to have had several admirers. Michael Mageau, 19, was a shy but friendly young man who had known Darlene for some time. On the night of July 4th, 1969, the two decided to drive to Blue Rock Springs Park to talk and enjoy the summer night. They had no idea that their late-night conversation would be interrupted by a nightmare. A mysterious vehicle parked behind them, then left, only to return moments later. Suddenly, a man stepped out with a flashlight, blinding them before opening fire. The bullets tore through the car. Michael screamed in pain but survived the brutal attack. Darlene, critically wounded, succumbed to her injuries before help could arrive. Michael, though severely injured, Then, on October 11, 1969, the Zodiac struck in a shocking departure from his usual pattern. He shot and killed San Francisco cab driver Paul Stine, stealing a piece of his bloody shirt and mailing it to the press, proving that the Zodiac was still watching, still taunting. Paul Stine was a 29-year-old cab driver and a student with aspirations of building a future beyond his driving job. Born in Texas, Paul had moved to California in search of better opportunities. Known for his diligence, he worked hard to support his studies while driving a cab in San Francisco to make ends meet. Unlike previous attacks, the Zodiac shot Paul Stine execution style before taking a piece of his bloody shirt as a trophy, later mailing it to the press as proof of his crime. This chilling act escalated the Zodiac's reign of terror and baffled investigators, as the motive appeared different from the previous killings. To this day, the Zodiac's true identity remains unknown. Could he have slipped right through the hands of investigators? Over the years, many names have surfaced as potential Zodiac suspects. The most famous, Arthur Lee Allen, a man with a disturbing history and a connection to the Zodiac's cryptic symbol. But despite years of speculation, DNA evidence never linked him to the crimes. In 2021, a team of investigators claimed they had identified the Zodiac as Gary Francis Post, a convicted felon who bore a striking resemblance to the composite sketch. But to this day, no conclusive proof has emerged. More than 50 years have passed, yet the mystery of the Zodiac Killer remains unsolved. His ciphers, his identity, and his twisted motives continue to haunt both investigators and true crime enthusiasts. Did he die? Was he arrested for another crime? Or is he still out there, watching? We may never know. The Zodiac once wrote, "This is the Zodiac speaking." But will he ever speak again? The mystery continues. The victims' theories and their stories. Theory number 1. Arthur Lee Allen. Arthur Lee Allen, a convicted child molester, has long been considered the prime suspect. His fascination with violent crimes, his possession of a Zodiac brand watch, and multiple suspicious connections to the murders made him a strong person of interest. Police even searched his home, finding weapons and disturbing materials. However, his DNA and handwriting did not match the Zodiac's letters. Was he the killer or just a troubled man with dark fantasies? Theory number 2. The stranger within. Some believe the Zodiac was someone completely unknown, an anonymous figure who blended into society, hiding in plain sight. Could the killer have been a disturbed loner, living an unassuming life while orchestrating one of the greatest murder mysteries in history? Theory number 3. The military connection. Others speculate the Zodiac had military or law enforcement experience. His knowledge of cryptography, weaponry, and coded messages suggests training in these fields. Was he a former soldier who used his skills for terror instead of duty? Theory number 4. Gary Francis Post. In recent years, an investigative group called the Casebreakers claimed that Gary Francis Post, a deceased Air Force veteran, was the Zodiac. Their evidence includes scars matching police sketches and hidden messages in Zodiac letters that supposedly spell out his name. But without definitive proof, the case remains open. Theory number 5. Multiple killers. Another chilling theory suggests there was more than one Zodiac killer. Some believe the letters and murders were committed by different people, or that a group was responsible. Could this theory explain the inconsistencies in the handwriting and descriptions? The Zodiac Killer case has haunted law enforcement, amateur sleuths, and true crime enthusiasts for over 50 years. The ciphers remain unsolved, and the killer's true identity continues to elude us. Will we ever know the truth? Or will the Zodiac's taunting letters remain a mystery forever? Who do you think the Zodiac was? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into unsolved crimes.